Hello and welcome to this edition of TMA's Farm Margin Talk. This is Devin Schierling, Grain Marketing Manager for TMA. Well, I apologize for not getting a Farm Margin Talk out last week. Due to either operator or technical error, I was unable to get the Farm Margin Report out before officiating a little bit of high school basketball. So to make up for my error last week, we're going to get it out a little bit earlier this week for you. So to look at the January 27th, 2012 Farm Margin Report, you'll notice that the scenery has changed quite a bit from the last report, where everything is in the black or in profit, with dryland and irrigated corn for 2012 really leading the way. But the big jump was what we've seen in the wheat profitability for 2012. So for those of you who like to see the detailed information, this just shows you each individual expense or credit that we put into our profit formulas. And then this is just the number of bushels it takes to purchase those inputs, and it comes down to profitability in a bushel per acre scenario. So today what we want to visit about is a little bit of a call to action on your crop insurance, but more than that, which is managing your overall revenue picture. So as most of you know, the crop insurance base price will be set during the average of the respective futures for the month of February. So for example, on soybeans, it's the average of the November of 2012 soybean futures over the month of February. And you can see for corn and grain sorghum, I've listed those out as well. But here's what I want to talk about today. What that average comes into has a very big impact on what revenue you can lock in, and better yet, what your peace of mind looks like going forward. So I went and put a couple different yield and price, a couple different price scenarios for base price. So for example, if the base price comes in on irrigated corn at $6, you see 180 bushel APH times 6 times 80% gives you a gross revenue of $864 per acre. With the average producer spending between $650 and $750 an acre to put that crop out, that's ensuring yourself that you're going to have a great year at a minimum level. If you still grow the APH you're looking for, and the price increases, or you're able to contract even higher than this at a previous time, your profit could be even far exceed these levels. But the key to this picture is that from today going forward, we see that base price go lower, you're only going to be able to lock in $720 an acre of revenue if we drop down to $5. That's only 65 to 70 cents lower than where we're at today. That's a move that can happen very easily within 1 week. And the story is the same for each of the other commodities as we go lower. So what are some of our customers doing? TMA's grain marketing and crop insurance specialists are out visiting with our producers today about how they can lock in that revenue from a minimum perspective going forward. And so for only a 12-cent investment, our producers are able to lock in a floor of locking in a base price of $5.58. And when you take that out, that comes out to a net total of $804 an acre of revenue that our producers are able to lock in today. So for a measly 12-cent a bushel investment, you're able to guarantee yourself that revenue, and if the market goes higher, you're going to get the higher of the average price or where you locked in at today. So for more information on that, feel free to contact one of us, because it's a great way to help manage your overall exposure. And so for some of you, look at this picture and say it's a little blurry, and I understand, but what this is showing you is one of the new things coming out today. It's talking about trend adjustments. And trend adjustments, to make a long story short, are going back over the last 10 years, and they are making some adjustments to what county T yields were. So, for example, if in McPherson County, you're able, on irrigated corn, you're able to use a 1.81 factor to change your overall APH if you have that history on your ground. Now, we'll get into more of that information at meetings we'll have later on, but what I want to show you is what the potential is for this trend adjustment. And by no shape or means, every farm and every operation is different. But on this example, I actually ran this for a producer, and he went from having a 180 bushel APH to 198 bushel APH. So using those same exact price structures, this producer is able to, if the price comes in at $6, lock in a minimum of $950 an acre of revenue. Now that's peace of mind, and to do that it was only a fraction of cost for him, on a per acre basis in comparison to what he was getting. So guys, this trend adjustment's real. It takes a mountain of time to figure it out. So if you want detailed information of how this affects your operation, feel free to give us a call and we'll help you out with that. So the overall message is focus on what you can control, which is profit and managing that profit throughout the cycle. And once again, what's moving these markets today, world financial markets, what's happening on the export markets, who's going to buy, who's not, and then really, how is South American weather improvements going to affect us? It's been a hit and miss. One rainstorm comes, one doesn't, but it really looks here the next 4 days that we're going to move out of a pattern of dryness there. And so how did that overall weather scare, or weather event, I should say, affect their overall production? It'll be very interesting looking forward from here. So with that being said, thank you for listening to our Farm Margin Report, and have a great week.